Yeah.
Only built for Cuban links.
You see it? We back! In respect for the return of East Coast hip-hop, specifically New York hardcore hip-hop.
Not the Jay-Z album.
Only built for Cuban links. The return. We always like to compare ourselves to the Wu, just like the Wu's only 3 of us right here. Shout out to Big Mike and
Docs, Volley Boy, BJ
Murray.
The Chambers continue to grow. GYGB UK coming soon.
Yeah.
Yes, we locking the globe down, man.
Matter of fact, Big Mike and Docs, they handling some business, some big things coming in 2010. I want to get back to this Cuban links, man. The return of East Coast hardcore hip hop. You know, oh damn, my bad. It ain't even come out in stores yet.
It ain't come out in stores
yet.
The
hood had to get their hands on it. Matter of fact, you remember the good old days when the hood used to get their hands on stuff first? Now somebody in Idaho.
I took the train to Sound of Upper Darby to go get America's Most Wanted when I was in like 4th or 5th grade. You know, that's how it was back then. You know, you just went and grabbed stuff on the cuff like that, man. Before the iPods and download and all that.
The whole world. Well, if you haven't heard it by now, Only Built for Cuban Links Part 2 is major. You know, Jay-Z's record is out to the masses. It's not in stores yet.
Yeah, let's go. Silent King. Yeah, the big park shit. You know how I go. In them alleys.
GYGB.
Hey, yo,
we back.
Rap got
Shout out to
right
BJ Murray and the Volley Boy holding things down for the busy summer. Not for boxing, but you know, for us, you know, grown man stuff, family, vacation, all that stuff. How was your summer, by the way?
You know, it wasn't good. Because usually I enjoy.
You're bored with boxing right now.
I'm extremely bored with boxing. You know, I always make the parallels with hip hop and boxing because I hold them both dear to my heart, and they both are disappointing me. And Paulie Malignaggi was right on point, and he kept it real. You know,
we got an interview with Paulie Malignaggi on the site.
It's on GYG. It's on GuardYourGrowBoxing.com. But he reminded me of, you know, common sense before, you know, Erica got to him and his name just turned common. You know, he used to love it.
He got tricked out.
Yeah, he said, I used to love this sport, man, but now I just do it for the money, man. And I felt him 100%. He might have messed up some paydays for him, but I mean, people like
actually, they talking about doing a rematch, so he might have helped this situation.
Yeah,
well, HBO demanding it, so.
Between that and between
the canceled fights
and Campbell's fight,
Campbell and they which got reversed.
Y'all ain't see us talking a minute.
Y'all, we ain't chopping.
Let's go back. Let's go back.
Yeah, we got time.
Look, the whole summer training, I talked about it. Started with David Haye Council playing back and forth with the Klitschko brothers.
Right.
You know, it was Floyd, of course, because Floyd was in July.
Right.
But that whole summer started off because remember, Haye was supposed to hold us off until July.
Right.
And then after July, it was supposed to be Campbell and Bradley.
Poor David.
Little David. He's never getting a fight with the Klitschkos again now.
He messed
up a lot of money. He don't want for whatever reason he didn't want those fight with those dudes. You know, and him.
He reminds me of the game. You know how the game.
You know, I was gonna bring the game up today, but for something totally different.
The game once beef, then he apologizes.
He's the most.
Once beef, then he apologizes.
You know what's crazy about David Haye is all the stuff that he popped off. Like he was talking real greasy.
Like the game.
Exactly, like the game. He had the.
I don't diss legends.
Yeah, he don't diss.
Well, I started remember I
don't wear button-ups to drive Maybachs, but I don't diss legends.
Right. I wasn't talking about Jay-Z.
It's a good album too.
The funny part about it is, I actually had him winning against Little Brother.
No, everybody thought he had a puncher's chance, and I don't know if I was saying he was going to win, but I thought he was live. I thought he was live. You know what I mean? I definitely thought he was live in the fight, but you know, man, whatever with him. Nate Campbell, Tim Bradley, the headbutt thing. You know, look, man, Nate, you a vet. You supposed to know this. He came on show GYGB Love. Check that out on the site. We did an interview with him. Yeah. But all in all, man, you know, you made a rookie move when a doctor came over there to you. You start crying from the rip when you should have waited and let the doctor ask you if you couldn't see or not. Then you go and start saying you're seeing sheeps, you know, and flying horses and all that kind of stuff. If you're going to play, you got to know how to play it.
But it was pretty obvious where that fight was going. And he was getting outworked.
He was getting outworked.
And we even discussed, you know, Nate might have finally crossed that, between going up and weight and crossing that hurdle on age.
He crossed, exactly.
And my man, you know, I'm telling you, he's the next Holyfield to me.
Yeah, especially the way he lead in with his head
Tim Bradley is the next, I'm saying now, he's the next Evander Holyfield leading up to
He still gotta get his suit game up though. Like,
as Holyfield was when he walked in the ring against Mike Tyson, started going like this, smiling.
But you only comparing his confidence to Holyfield.
No, I'm not.
Because he don't fight nothing like Holyfield.
Huh? Okay. All right. Y'all go up there. Y'all can watch some TV. Go the other way.
That was real girl boxing. Girl boxing, raw and uncut. I'm gonna give it to you with no still
I'm not comparing. I'm comparing his will, his determination, his fortitude. He doesn't waver. No matter what you do to him, he's not going to waver.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. Go back to when we did that show, the Pound for Pound show.
Right.
Remember back then, a couple years ago, we was on the art stand. The Peterson brothers is coming. The Peterson brothers is coming. I'm still riding with the Peterson brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Tim Bradley about to text one of them.
No, okay. We'll see.
They fighting in December.
Yeah, Lamont. Yeah, we'll see. I'm riding with DC, Lamont Peterson on that one.
This is what I have to say about it. Like, okay, you drug these young men career like a snail, like a tortoise, at such a slow pace, right? Then you put them in with the livest dog in the division. You didn't give us a pit stop. We even talked about my man from Jersey.
Right. We talked about Kendall Holt.
Even Kendall Holt would have been dangerous.
That's a tough, but it's a winnable fight.
Demetrius Hopkins. Yeah. You have Anthony Thompson. You have a lot.
He actually retired. We got the last interview with him. How perfect timing was that? I mean, our thoughts and prayers goes out to Anthony Thompson, but it's crazy how fate works because we actually got the last live interview with him before he retired.
That's horrible, man.
You know what I mean?
I feel
this is
bad,
a brutal sport, man. You know, I try to tell people this all the time.
You look real sharp on the footage, but he didn't give us any. I'm not calling these guys mediocre, but
I know
he's going right to the finish line, and like I haven't seen enough from Lamont to know how this fight will play out. Even though we talked about, Tim does get hit. He's very aggressive. His work rate's high.
I'm still not sober.
And Lamont,
I don't care how.
See Lamont.
He beat Kendall Holt and he beat Nate Campbell, who came out for 135, who's old, and the fight got stopped with a headbutt. And he beat the most overrated fighter in the history of boxing. You know I say that a lot. Right. He's on my most overrated of the history of boxing list, and that's Junior Witter. That's who he beat. That's all I know about Tim Bradley. I'm sorry. Top rank now, so they. You know, one thing about Bob, he gonna get you fights. So the envelope is being pushed.
Just throw him in there.
Yeah. So
since then,
we have to mention too. Since then, the decision has been overturned. So regardless,
the decision, man,
is getting worked and no contest.
I mean, whatever.
You heard what Tim said.
In the public opinion,
it's gonna be the same fight.
In the public opinion, he lost.
Too much work for Nate at this stage in his career. As much as I like Nate, it's just too much work for him.
Paulie Malignaggi and Diaz. You know what's funny? This fight reminded me. I thought about something when Bones Adams fought Paulie Ayala, another overhyped dude, kind of like Juan Diaz, a dude that they tried to push down our throat. Ayala beats an old Johnny Tapia, and next thing you know, he's a star. He fights Bones Adams, a technically sound fighter. Not as flashy as Paulie Malignaggi, but the fight was kind of close, could have went either way, but they gave it to Ayala. And the same thing happened with this. Like, boxing has become, who's the most marketable dude, and that's who's going to get the decision in the fight. No matter what you do, you can pretty much lose every round in the fight. But if you're the more marketable dude...
You know who said that? He was
Max kept it 100 on that.
He kept it 100. He said that this guy's probably the most marketable out of the two.
He is. He had the Houston Rockets stadium sold.
I'm going to tell you about Juan Diaz, who was always on point about Juan, was Big Mike. Big Mike.
I was a fan of Juan.
Has always stated that this guy is a lot
of... He's a
whole lot of motion with nothing behind it. Juan Diaz's style works if he can crack, but he can't crack. So he's going to constantly get in trouble with boxers.
Ring King had a great quote. He said, all Juan Diaz's fights are like pillow fights. And that's just what they are, man.
He can't hurt nobody.
He can't hurt nobody, man. If he had, that's why when I told you about the whole Cotto, I said if he had power, he would be dangerous, though.
Who?
Juan Diaz. Oh. If he was... Because essentially he's like Chavez or something, but he don't have the power to do it.
Yeah. Why'd you say Cotto though?
Because I was saying Cotto because the way he's square, he fights in the square kind of.
But I tell you, he's nowhere near.
I'm not saying he Cotto. He's not the boxer, but Cotto.
The defense of Cotto or the counter.
I don't want to open Cotto and pack.
Let's strike that for the record. Don't put them two names in the same sentence, man. Sorry, so we covered that fight, so.
That's that, man. Boxing is boring right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you nailed it. A lot of people don't have the heart to say it, Boxing right now is running on a treadmill. It's not going
prior to me.
I mean, the fall looks promising, but it's not going.
Prior to me receiving that.
I mean, look, we got her, Sandy Sadler right here. You know what I'm saying? You know, my dude Joe Lewis right here. You know, Ray Robinson versus Kid Gavilan right there. You know what I'm saying? You know,
we Los Entertainment.
You know what I mean? Shout out to my dude Los, another boxing historian. You know, I just felt compelled to put these pictures up here just to remind us how great this sport once was, and hopefully it can get back to that, man. Because this summer was atrocious, man.